So today we're going to take a break from our regular videos and we're going to have a fun one and review Sabrina Carpenter's online merch store. I think she was just at Coachella this past weekend, so I haven't seen this store yet. I haven't seen her store at all, but let's take a look at it blind and see what it looks like. So let's do Sabrina Carpenter. And this is going to be a raw video as well, just like our Taylor Swift one. Online merch store. Okay, so she runs a subdomain. So what a subdomain is basically she has sabrinacarpenter.com, but she does store.sabrinacarpenter.com. And so that's just a subdomain. A lot of times people use the word shop, like shop.domainname.com, but she decided to use store. And let's take a look. So let's just do understand for now. So looking at this, looks like she has a textured background. All right, so music, she has music. And this is what I was going to say too, is you don't necessarily need, just because you have a merch store doesn't mean you only can sell merch, right? You can obviously sell, if you're an artist, you can sell your records, you can sell hard goods, like CDs or anything like that. And you can also sell digital, you can sell online. So that's the good thing about an online store is you can sell both physical products as well as virtual products or digital products. And so she sells her music, also promotes her tour here, which is good, collections. But let's take a look at the merch here. So she has new apparel. Let's look at apparel. Okay, so 2026. Let's take a look at this. So again, I have not seen any of this at all. Festival exclusive. I'm pretty sure she's probably talking about Coachella. So that's awesome that she's putting it on here as well. Obviously, she probably made a lot of sales at Coachella, the event itself, but nothing wrong with having your products on the website as well. So let's just take a look at this. Pretty Girl Avenue hoodie. Well, this is a pre-order, so maybe it's not maybe it wasn't at Coachella. I don't know, but this is kind of interesting. I haven't really seen this before. This appears to be a can't really zoom in here, which is not the greatest, but screen printed front and back. Okay, I don't know if this is I don't doubt this could be an actual zipper. That must be an actual. No, that's not a zipper. Honestly, it looked like a zipper. I thought it was a zipper at first, but it's a post for a sign, right? And so it's just Pretty Girl Ave. And also another thing too that I like, and this is something that kind of gets overlooked sometimes, is the Photoshop on this is good because, very, very simple to do, but a lot of people miss this. And these drawstrings right here, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll just Photoshop the image on top of the hoodie and then they'll just forget it, right? And so you don't want to do that because it doesn't really look realistic, right? Because in reality, the drawstrings would cover the design. So I like it's little details like that I like. And she's going small through doubles. And this is a brown. This is going to be screen printed as well. I also like the placement on this. A lot of times as well, sometimes when you notice the print, it'll be either too low or it'll be like too high. But as you can see, it's good where the print starts right below where the hoodie is, right? So if you're just walking around with your hoodie down, you can still see the print, which I also think is a good detail. And this ships on June 5th, 2026. $90. It's one color only offered. I don't know if that's her color is brown. $90. It doesn't really give specs on the hoodie. I don't see. But again, just like with Taylor Swift, this is where your brand can really your brand and your name and all that stuff can really demand those higher prices. Okay, so $90, a little pricey, but it's still official merch, I guess. And so this is a Pretty Girl Avenue shorts, small through doubles, screen printed front and back. This is going to be real easy. So $45. Again, it's on pre-order. And that's a good thing too, is pre-order works because if you've listened before, you know that there's basically two ways to fulfill online store orders. And that's either through print on demand, which is when an order comes in, you print it right then and there. You print single pieces and then you ship it out. The problem with that is it's more expensive, right? Because you run out on the DTG, DTF. And so it's not going to be as cost effective. The other way to do it is screen printing, where you just set the press up once and you let it turn for 500, 1,000 pieces, whatever you want to print. And it's just a lot quicker, right? And so you could do that in an hour and a half. So it's very more economical to screen print it. But then the problem is now if you're not pre-ordering, you're just guessing, right? You're just guessing, how many smalls do I need? How many mediums do I need? How many larges do I need? And let's just say you sell out of all the smalls, and then you over order mediums. So now you're stuck with 150 medium shorts that you can't sell because no one orders medium. They're either order small or large. And so that's why pre-order is good, because what you do is you pay for it now or you pay for it later when it actually ships. But you pre-order, you kind of reserve it, and then on the date, July 24th, or before that, what they'll do is maybe a week before that, what they'll do is they'll tally up all the orders, they'll close it down on the store, and they'll see how many, and then they'll know exactly what they need, right? They need 50 small, 100 medium, 150 large, 25 XLs. And so that way is a good way to, that's a good way to have double the savings, right? You get to print at a lower cost, but you don't also have any inventory to hold afterwards. So pre-order is a good way to go, especially if you're doing fundraisers, things like that. They just restocked this Heyman. Again, $45 for the shorts. A little pricey, but that's if you love Sabrina Carpenter, that's what you can do. Okay, so they added a final sale clause here, which they obviously make you check before you can add it to the cart. So this must mean that there are no returns. And this is, I do like the fact that they put, how they decorate this thing. Red lace and rhinestone on front. Okay, so this is a rhinestone. It's a cute little tank top, $45. Again, a little much, but, this is going to be okay, so let's look at this shirt right here. Just robbed a house, baby tee. Just robbed a house. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be so white shirts are going to be the easiest to print on, right? And so this is going to be a fairly easy print for $45. It's a fitted baby tee, so that's going to be a little bit more cost than just like a regular basic t-shirt. But this one is nice. The other thing is a little low. So just so you know, when you print on a t-shirt on the front and it's a kind of a large design, it's basically 3 fingers, right? So you put 3 fingers down from the bottom of the collar, and that's where the print should start, is 3 fingers down. This one looks like it's a little low, but it's also a baby tee, so it's not a regular t-shirt. But that doesn't include where it's a smaller print. Sometimes you have like this small, 3-inch size height print. And so that is not, you don't follow the 3-finger rule for that, but just a little detail that you should make sure your printer does. And so this at $45, it's a little pricey, but again, like I've always said, it's one of those things where you can charge more for a good brand. Okay, this red t-shirt. Now this is even going to be an easier print. That's why it's a little less. Okay, so this is a white baby tee. This is a red baby tee. The reason why it's $5 less, if you notice, this is $45 and this is $40. The reason why it's less is because black ink is super easy to print. And so it's going to be a black ink, one color. And so it's, that may not be the only reason why it's cheaper, but that could be a reason why it's cheaper is because it's the production cost is less because it's basically a single color. So, and again, I may be onto something because if you look at this, well, this is sold out, but let's just take a look at it. If you look at this Busy Woman baby tee is $45. It's $45, but the reason why it's again, the black print is $40. The reason why this is $45 is 100% cotton, so it's a two color. So basically, what they have to do is they have to print the base, which is going to be a white underbase, and then they have to flash it, which I don't, you're not going to know what these terms are, but then they have to print twice. So they have to print white, they dry it a little bit, and then they print a yellow on top to make it yellow. And so that's why the pricing is $45. So I'm thinking that the reason why they're doing that is the printer is charging them a little bit more. Whoever their fulfillment is, they're charging a little bit more. So that's why you see the price difference in terms of $40 and $45. But again, this is still an easy print, nothing too hard. Let's see. Fun baby t-shirt, $40. These are cool designs. I don't know if she must tie this in with her songs or her music. Another thing I did want to say real quick too is the font here. I understand this is going to be more for a younger demographic, but still the font is kind of hard with the numbers because I didn't know if this was $45 or that 5. I can see the 4 and the 00, but that 5 is it's a little weird. So if you're running this is why you need to have your client avatar, right? And so you need to know who your audience is. Obviously, her audience is going to be younger females, so she can get away with that. But if you are a corporate company or you're sell to an older audience, you may not want to have this font here, especially for the numbers, right? So let's see. Slim Pickens. I like that. Basically, she's doing FOMO, saying it's Slim Pickens, not much left. That's the way I'm reading it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it is. So they're out of medium, they're out of large, they're out of doubles. And they're out of small. So they only have XLs left. And so this is what I was talking about just 5 minutes ago. And that's what they did is they ordered a bulk of these and they printed a whole bunch and they warehoused them on the shelves. And so they sold it. So they sold out of small, they sold out the medium, they sold out the large, they sold all the doubles. But now they still have XLs in stock. So they're trying to get rid of the XLs. And so again, this is why if you can always do a pre-launch or something like that, that's good because you don't run into this problem of selling out of your smalls, your mediums, your larges, your doubles, and then you only have one size left. So you're taking up rack space on your racks to have, I don't know, maybe 2-3 cases. I don't know. I'm just saying 2-3 cases of XL shirts for this one, and you can't get rid of it. And so for one, it takes up space, and two, it's just kind of not disheartening, but it's just, it just kind of reminds you like, I wish we could get rid of these. And so this is another Slim Picking one. So I assume that they are out of this one as well. And if you notice here too, what they do is they relabel them. So what they'll do is they'll take out either they'll cut off or they'll tear away the tag, and then they'll just reprint on the inside. And so that's that's something that you want to do too, especially for a clothing brand. You may want to think about doing that. That's a good thing to do. This is not bad for $40. I mean, it doesn't say how it's printed, but this is not bad for $40. It's a baby tee. It is a lot of colors, so, well, not a lot of colors, but it's not, it's not a one color. So for $40, that's a pretty good deal. This one doesn't even have a price. This Feeling Lucky Ringer tee. Sold out. I like that. Good for her. Sold out. Great. A lot of designs. I like these. Yeah, see, I'm surprised she didn't sell out of this one. But people like people like the realistic image of that. So, screen printed black tee with front graphic. Yeah, so this is sold out. It's nice. Again, not to be nitpick here, but when you look at it, I can tell that's not 3 fingers down from the bottom of the collar. Now, they probably printed it 3 fingers down from the bottom of the collar, but whoever did their online store images didn't take that into account because it's a little high. Or maybe they printed it high. That's fine too. I don't know. It really depends on the client, who is Sabrina Carpenter or whoever runs her merch program. That's who approves it. So if they like it that way, then that's it. But as you can see, these probably do pretty well. Any kind of picture or something of that nature. $45 for this shirt, I'd say that's a pretty good deal. It's only the single front side, but as you can see, it's sold out. Man Child. I'm working late because I'm a singer. Black t-shirt. Oh, this is sold out too. So it looks like it's halftones here, or gradients in the Photoshop world. Because I'm a singer. 100% cotton. So this is going to be a double-sided print. Silver foil on front. So this is a foil. Silver foil on back. $50. I'd say that's a pretty good deal. Okay, so for the back print, this is pretty good placement. When it's a back print and it's big, you do 4 fingers. So you do 4 fingers from the bottom of the collar, and that's where you start the bigger print. And again, that doesn't include if you do like a really short 2-3 inch high print. That's different. But if it's a big print like this, it's very easy. Put the shirt down, 4 fingers from the bottom of the collar. That's where the print should start. And so that looks like they got that here. And it looks like they got the 3 fingers here. So whoever did this one did a pretty good job of mocking it up. And so maybe that's why it sold out. Who knows? Okay, but yeah, here's a full color tee. This is probably going to be DTG'd, so printed on front. It doesn't say it, but if it's 100% cotton, I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. So $45, that's going to be a pretty good price because DTG is going to cost more. Even if it's in bulk, DTG just costs a little bit more than spot color screen printing. So that's good. She's got a lot of merch here, so that's nice. Okay, honk if you're stupid hoodie. So black hoodie. Printed on front. Again, they don't specify here, but this is probably going to be DTG as well because it's full color. So this doesn't sound, look, I don't know if there's anything in the back, but it's a little pricey. DTG, again, will cost more than just a regular screen print or even embroidery. So it's a pretty good, it's a little high, but it's still a pretty good deal for $80. Let's see, she offers some other, aqua hoodies. This can be embroidery. Yeah, embroidered floral and screen printed logo. Okay, so this is what we call mixed media, and I really like these. And so, yeah. Yeah. So what you do is this is called mixed media, and what it is, it's a combination of screen printing and embroidery. And I really like these. And so what you have to do is, depending on the design, a lot of times what you'll do is you'll screen print the front, and then when you take it over to the embroidery department, you need to make sure you know where the design is, so that you can line up the machine and embroider around the print. And again, it just depends on the design and how it is. Sometimes you do the embroidery first, but usually with embroidery, even with lasers on your screen printing, embroidery is usually going to be easier to kind of, position. So it looks like the short and sweet will be screen printed. Maybe even on the right here. I don't think that's so. What they did is they screen printed all this, I think. And I think they just embroidered the flowers, right? Embroidered floral accents, yeah. And so what they did is they probably screen printed this first and then took it over to the embroidery department and then embroidered the side of it. And so I really like these. And this is $85. I'd say that's a good deal. So that's a good deal. Mixed media designs are always nice. They always add a little more, not class, but they also add a little bit more upscale, more of an upscale feel to it. And so it costs a little bit more, but you can also charge a little bit more if you're running your own e-commerce store. So mixed media, if you want to do that, that's a great option. Big fan of mixed media. Okay. So she has pretty good amount. She keeps the sold out on there, and that's probably a good thing, because it gets to say, hey, it's like, it's not really FOMO, but it's more of, like, hey, this one's sold out, so buy something else, right? It just kind of gives you that psychological thing where, yeah, this one's sold out and this one's sold out. So my stuff sells out, and so you need to buy something else that you think you would like. Okay. But this is a good one page. This is collections, apparel one. Let's see how she did. Accessories. Let's look at her accessories. Doormat, $45. Wow. I'd say that's a pretty good deal. Postcard tote, $35, yeah. Cosmetics bag, $30. That's a pretty good deal for customized. Tote. Huh. Matches. This must be a thing, because I got a company sent me this as well. They sent me the same thing. Matches in this little bottle thing with their logo on the front. Interesting. I took a look at it. I'm not really, I don't know if this is going to be good for Sabrina Carpenter's clientele, because God forbid one of them gets it and then they're younger and they light a match and set their house on fire. That's not going to be good. So matches, I'm always kind of a little iffy about. Just be careful with that. Same thing with Zippos. I don't know. I guess they sell $40. It's a little much, just for engraving. But I guess, again, that depends on your audience. And so, okay, well, here we go. Let's move on to hats. Patch hat. Let's be a $35. Unstructured trucker hat. So this unstructured trucker hat. Man-child patch on the front. $35. That's actually not bad. Usually on clothing brands, hats go for $30 for patches. So that's actually a pretty good price for Sabrina Carpenter. Don't embarrass me, trucker hats. So this is going to be fully embroidered. Yeah, embroidered blue trucker hat. I like to see them put it on models if they could. I like the little, on the flat surface, they have it on, they tried to zhuzh it up a little bit, put little flowers and whatnot. But it also, I think it'd be more effective if you also put it on a person. and just wear that. Put it on Sabrina Carpenter. Although I know Sabrina Carpenter probably is not really involved too much with this in terms of picking it and promoting it and whatnot. Let's look at their best sellers. Okay, so this is just going to be a collection of, here's the Zippos. Well, let's look at this zip-up hoodie. Screen printed front, back, graphic design, $90. This is expensive. I mean, this is going to be somewhat of an easy print. I do like, again, the way they put the print down below the hood. So when someone is just walking around with the hood down, you can see the entire print. I always think that's good. There are exceptions to that if the print is really big. You don't necessarily want to do that. Again, they try and, this is also embroidered on the sleeve, so that's good. Doesn't really look like it's in the middle, though. Looks like it's off to the left a little bit. When you put that on, you probably want to make sure that it's centered in the middle if you're doing the picture. I'm sure it is probably centered. It's just, unless they don't want it centered, but it looks to me like it's a little off center, so. Yeah, even this one's a little off centered. But again, this is just me. I see so much of it. I notice the little details, so that's something that if you have a clothing brand, if you're selling your merch online or whatever, you'll want to make sure that you have good mock-ups of it so that, some people see that. I don't know. Most people may not, and also this print's a little low for the left chest. It's just going to be down here. That print right there will probably be more down here when someone wears it. It needs to be a little higher. And by the way, this is actually a really nice hoodie. It's a Travis Matthew. It's really comfortable. It's we actually gave some to our client as samples, and they really liked it. And but this is more going to be for your executive team, right? This is not going to be for your for all your employee staff. But if you want to, that's great. But these are going to be a little bit more expensive. So great gift for an executive team or sales, top performers on your team. So Travis Matthew, good hoodie. But again, this print's going to be a little low. But again, this is where what happens is who does the printing and who does the graphics are two different people. And this is why, I have graphic designers all the time email me saying this and this and this. And I don't really say anything, but they don't really know what they're talking about, right? I mean, a lot of them that don't really actually go in there and print and know where the placements are and what to look for. They send me this thing and they're like, it's completely off. It's completely not to scale. But, I don't say anything. I'm just like, okay, thank you. And then I go ahead and, we readjust it ourselves. But it's, So the reason why this is because the person that does the online store probably just put this through this in Photoshop, and they're just like, yeah, this looks good, but it's a little low. This is not where it's going to be when it's finally printed. But again, this is just me being nitpicky. But okay, so she has an email list, which is good. All right, and this is also important too, we're actually going to interview a lot of email marketing people, email marketing experts, a lot smarter than us. So this is good because what you're doing is you're segmenting the list. So it says join a list. Do you want to join the Sabrina Carpenter list, the Island Records list, or the Universal Music Group list? And so that way you segment the list, meaning you separate it. Because someone wants to know about Sabrina Carpenter merch may not care about Island Records or Universal Music Group, right? They don't care. They just want to know when the new merch or whatever comes out for Sabrina Carpenter. And so that is a good way to segment your list to make sure you're sending it to the people that want to receive it and help and support. So this is really just kind of a basic store, but again, that's all you really need. Well, that's just for kicks. Let's look at this tour here. Oh yeah, Coachella, April 17th. Let's look at tickets. Oh yeah, here's all the lists, I guess. 2026 merchandise. Maybe I should do a Coachella merchandise thing. Okay, I like it's funny how this is the one that sold out is the one she used. That's good. Take the quiz to find out. Nice. She puts her shop now here. Okay, again, little basic, not as flashy as Taylor Swift's store, but still gets the job done, right? So let's look at, just like I did for Taylor Swift. Okay, any guesses here? Oh, not widely publicized. Okay, yeah. As of early 2026, she's a high-earning pop artist with an estimated net worth of 60. Okay. Oh. Diversified income stream including touring, high-demand concert merch, right? Perfect, merch. And a fragrance line. So she may want to keep her fragrance line different, but, I mean, if I were her, why wouldn't you put it on here and sell it on here? But it could be co-branded with someone else, or it could be partnered with someone else, so that may be why it's not on here. But still, this is a great... this was a fun one. Again, these are just fun. You know, I like to see what the other stores are doing. Obviously, these are going to be a little bit more higher end agencies that are running this most likely. And so this is okay. Vinyl records. Don't know anything about that, so couldn't tell you about pricing. Okay, well, here's her store. Looks good, Sabrina Carpenter. And yeah, so well, thanks again for watching. And this was a fun. I think we're going to do Justin Bieber next. Maybe we'll even do the Coachella merch store next. I'd like to see. It'd be kind of interesting to see how the Coachella merch store. Do they sell just the Coachella merch, or do they co-brand with, their artists to do like a collab on merch or whatever. So that'd be kind of interesting to see what they do there. But thanks again for watching. Again, we're going to have a lot more of these. This is just fun for me. But if you want to watch this, get my take on how to improve your clothing brand website or your merch store website. You can watch these, see what other companies are doing as well. And it's a good way to learn. So thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.